Oh, hi guys, my name is Izzy. I'm a sporadic YouTuber. I'm here to do my best books of 2023. I decided to try to do this in two parts. So this first video is going to have YA, middle grade, and then the second video will have some more YA, because I read a lot actually. I read a lot of adults, what I read the most if you watch my stats, but some of my favorite books were in the YA category. So I'm going to do more YA and some graphic novels and then adults. So the first series I'm going to get into is the Gifted Clans series. So this is a Rick Riordan Presents series. I'm going to say something controversial, but I think I've said it before, so we'll just get into it. I think the Rick Riordan Presents books are better than Percy Jackson. Sorry, Uncle Rick. But these are by Gracie Kim. This is the Gifted Clan series. This follows Korean mythology. I think my favorite out of the whole series is probably the second book, because I really like Doll. I really like that character a lot. But overall, this whole series, the ending really kind of surprised me a bit and made me cry quite a bit, but this whole series I think was really great. I buddy read these with Kay Kelly and Shannon, which the other middle grade that ended up on this series is also Rick Riordan Presents, and I also buddy read it with Kay Kelly and Shannon. But yeah, these, if you're sleeping on these the Rick Riordan Presents series, I don't know what you're doing, because I still have quite a few on my TBR to read, but I have yet to be disappointed with this series, so, or with this imprint, so. Like I said, the other one is a Rick Riordan Presents. This is not surprising to me that this ended up being a 5-star read, because I love everything Roshni Chokshi touches. Everything she touches is just, and this book made me cry a lot. From the dedication on to the very last page, I was just like a lot of sobbing mess. This book deals heavily with grief. It's a big theme of the book. And it follows, Arushai followed her Hindu mythology, that heritage of hers. This one follows her Filipino side of her. But yeah, if you're looking at a book that deals heavily with grief, it's middle grade. Be prepared, have some tissues ready. But once again, this is a standalone as well, so once again, she knocks it out of the park. I love Roshni Chokshi. I love everything that she writes. So let's get into some YA, shall we? You're gonna notice a theme. A lot of these are queer. A lot of them are LGBTQIA+. And a lot of them are Owl Crate or Rainbow Crate. But The Fire Becomes Her, this had everything that I want in a book. Like, I can't think of a book that encompasses like so many things that I like. So we got an array of queer characters, a found family element. We've got this whole, I really like when the main character is infiltrating a group and then ends up realizing that the group is in the right more than the group that she was originally with, if that makes sense. Which I don't know what that trope is called, but it's in this book and I really enjoy that. Because it makes you question, like, it makes the main character like question everything that they knew in their world. But anyway, lots of queer characters, romance. It is so good. Oh, political intrigue. There's some political stuff going on. There's magic. There's fantasy elements. This book has got everything, and I thoroughly enjoyed every second of it. I'm pretty sure I inhaled it. Midnight Strikes, again, has some themes that I really enjoy in books. The main one being a time loop. I like that in books, especially if it's done well. I like it in movies too, again, if it's done well. But this is a book that I think my partner would really enjoy. Will they ever read it? Probably not. So it's got more, some of those political elements as well. It's got the main character is trying to stop this time loop, trying to get out of this time loop. She keeps waking up on the same day, and a disaster happens on the same day. I don't want to get too much into spoilers. There's also an enemies to lovers kind of thing, but it's another thing that I like is when one person is falling faster than the other person, like clearly, because she's stuck in the time loop constantly. So she's spending more time with this person, whereas to that person it's only been one day or one evening. But Midnight Strikes is just, I thoroughly enjoyed this baby. I really enjoyed it. If you like time loops. So My Dear Henry, so this is the Rainbow Crate cover. This is the original cover that I'm sure people have seen. So this is, YA authors have been doing like twists on classics, and this is one of them. This is a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde twist, but it's queer, but the characters are black. So it deals with elements of race in this time period. Yeah, so it deals with elements, it deals with racism, it deals with the way LGBTQIA plus people are treated during this time period as well. There are some elements that I would really watch your triggers, but overall, I think that this twist of this classic is done so beautifully, so when you find out, I don't want to spoil too much of these books, but when you find out what's going on behind the scenes, why there's a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, what's happening to this person, from a queer perspective, it's a big oof. So, Omen of Ice. This is an Outcrate book. This is a YA romantasy, I would say. This is very much it's kind of like enemies to lovers kind of thing vibes. It's basically our main character is assigned to be a bodyguard for this guy who's on the throne. There's some political stuff going on, corruption-y stuff going on. It's good. I'm the worst book reviewer ever. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this so much that I am dying for the next book. I don't remember if the title of the next book has been announced, but I'm dying for it. I will say that much. I'm dying. Andre and Santi were here. This is the Rainbow Crate cover. This is the original cover. This is a contemporary romance. This has non-binary character. It's a queer romance. It is very much, it deals with undocumented immigrants in the U.S. as well. There's lots of stuff. It was made me cry at times, but in the end, I'm not going to spoil the ending, but I really enjoyed how it ended, where it ended. It gave me all the warm fuzzy feels. Spirit Bares Its Teeth, again, Rainbow Crate cover. OG cover. Okay, let's get into this one. This one is horror. Historical fiction horror is what I would classify it as. If you're queer, check your triggers. Because this one is very, very much an oof. It's a rough one, but I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I thought it was really scary because it's set in surrounding historical things that have actually happened to queer folks, so it's really really terrifying to me, but a fantastic book. So there are fantasy elements. The main character is autistic and trans, and he is basically sent away to, not basically, he is sent away to conversion camp, but it's a conversion house, basically. It very much, I think I've said this many times, but like, I really enjoy when the house is not sentient, perhaps. Like, I don't mind a sentient house, but I really like when the house is a character, or the house feels like a character. Like, it might not necessarily speak or say anything or whatever, but it feels like the setting becomes a character of itself. Good example, Follow the House of Usher. You know, the house is a character, basically, even though it's not speaking, if that makes sense. Does that make any sense? I don't know. But that's how this one feels. Like, the setting is very ominous. It very much plays into the story itself. There's also a little bit of a romance involved. There is, like I said, some horror elements, very much so. There's some fantasy elements as well. This book is just a lot, but it was so good. I loved every second of it. Again, it was another book that I inhaled. One of the plot things it says here is queer rage. Yeah, and found family. Yeah, historical fantasy is what it's classified as. I would consider it historical fantasy horror. Like I said, I don't know if it's classified as that, but I classify it as horror. Violet Made of Thorns. I love this book so much and I want the sequel now, but the reason I love this book so much is because the main character is the villain. She's the villain, and you're kind of like want to slap her but also root for her at the same time. It's like, why are you such a bad person? But also, I understand why you're a bad person. She's very manipulative to get what she needs. Kind of badass too, I'm not gonna lie. But she's manipulating the king, and there is a little bit of tension between her and the prince. But yeah, I want the sequel to this yesterday, please. But if you like villains who are main characters and you're kind of rooting for, even though it feels kind of wrong to root for, but you're also like, I don't know, I dig that. I'm sorry. If you don't like villains that are main characters, then I'm sorry, but I like it. I'm just gonna say that Aiden Thomas has become an auto-buy author for me. I absolutely adore Aiden Thomas. Everything they write so far I've enjoyed. I still have Lost in the Neverwoods. Is that what it's called? I can't remember, but I still have that on my TBR. I heard rumor that we might be getting a sequel to Cemetery Boys. I don't know if that's true. I know that we're getting a sequel to Sunbearer Trials. It's already been confirmed. The cover has been released and it is gorgeous. This is the Rainbow Crate cover for the first book. This is the OG cover. This is very much, if you like Percy Jackson, which I actually don't like Percy Jackson that much. I enjoy Percy Jackson, but I love this. But if you like Percy Jackson, I think you'll like this as well. Even if I didn't like Percy Jackson. But I thought that before, like I recommended this to my sister for that reason, before I even read the back, and on the back here it says, like, if you like Percy Jackson. But yeah, this is very much those kind of vibes. Very much like sons and daughters and of, you know, gods and that, children of gods. And they're in like trials, so they're like in like competition styles. Yeah, it's very much that vibe, and queer characters galore. I loved every second of this book. Loved every second. The same goes with Cemetery Boys. Loved every second of it. I loved the culture infused in this book. Was really just every second. Loved it. I love the romance. I love the mystery elements of this because it's very much a mystery as well. Yeah, I love the magic involved. This is just, again, queer characters. Icebreaker. Not to be confused with the adult Icebreaker book, which I've heard is, nah. I don't think I'm ever going to read it. I should, just so I can be like, this one's better. Officially say that this one's better, but without even reading it. Yeah. Icebreaker. So this follows rivals. This is a rivals to lovers. Queer romance, once again. Rivals on a ice hockey team. Yeah, that's all you really need to know. That's all you need to know. There you go. That's it. Loved every second of this. I'm going to say that multiple times. Loved every second. Flamenco, dragons, romance, political stuff going on. Need I say more? Okay, let's get into the last few for this video. So, All American Boys. I made the mistake of finishing listening to this on an airplane on my way to Miami for Christmas. I cried. It's a lot. But I thoroughly enjoyed this book. I love the ending. I love the main character's connection by the end of the book. Thoroughly recommend. It's a backlist title, and I am upset that it's been on my TBR for that long. I am upset that I hadn't read it sooner. Loved it. More queer books. A Little Bit Country, Love Letter to Dolly Parton. That's all you need to know, really. The Darkness Outside Us. This is another book that I think my partner would really enjoy, like, quite a bit. This is set in space. This is on a spaceship. Male romance, another queer book. I don't want to get too much into it because I don't want to spoil things. But basically rivals, again, set in space, they're going somewhere. I don't want to spoil things. But it did make me cry. It did make me cry. It is everything. It was really good. Okay, last for today. Last for this video, maybe not last for today if I record the other half, but last for this video, I'm going to talk about this one. Okay, so, by the way, these were not in an order. They were just how I grabbed them. So Never Ever Getting Back Together by Sofia Gonzalez. This is the Rainbow Crate. This is the OG. This is a book that I didn't think I would actually enjoy because it's got tropes that I don't typically enjoy. The main being like famous people kind of vibes. This is set, well, I mean, they're not famous, but it's reality TV show is what this is centered around. So basically this guy, you can't really see him there, but basically this guy invites all of his exes, this is the reality show, this is the premise, invites all of the exes back to a house to all live, basically bachelor style. Hi, Droki. I'm in love. I'm almost done. I'm almost done. But he basically invites all of his exes back to a house, bachelor style, and for a second chance with all of them. One of them goes because she knows how much of a piece of shit that this guy is and she wants to expose him. Another one goes because she thinks that she might actually have a second chance with this guy. And then those two might end up finding love. That's it for this video. I will get into more books in the next video. Some more YAs, some graphic novel, a couple graphic novels, and the adult books as well. I will see you in the next video. Peace. I'm out. Goodbye. I love you. Let me know if you've read any of these or if you are going to read any of them now. Let me know if my review of them was absolute shit, because it's very possible I suck at reviewing books. Anyway, I love you. I'll see you in the next video. Peace. I'm out.